YouTube, welcome to the top 8, new week, and again we have Grand Magus with Heroes in the tournament, doing very well, playing against Mannadium. Now, right away I can see the dreaded evenly matched to help disrupt and banish everything but one card in the field. Can Grand Magus, the true hero, the real Jaden, play right through it? None of these Yubel imposters pretending to be Jaden. This is it in the top 8 by watching as long as you can. That greatly supports us. Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Hero lives, summon from the deck, our Stratos. We're going to speed this up since there's no disruption from the opponent. If they add a card from the deck to the hand, we are going to randomly banish a card from their hand. I'm not going to count that as a disruption, but the Dark Law is a floodgate. Anything sent to the graveyard is banished instead. Notice how we max seed. The opponent can't max seed. It's illegal for them to even attempt it because it has to be sent from the hand to the graveyard, which is not possible. So that's the floodgate. Anything sent to the grave is banished. Favorite Contact is going to summon from the extra deck a monster that will pop at least 2 to 3 cards, actually, since we have a Stratos. We have DPE, non-target pop a card in the field, and then we have Ash Blossom to negate. So 3 disruption plus a floodgate. Let's go. Straight to the battle phase. Unfortunately, DPE going to get itself into the graveyard. We're also going to flip up the Favorite Contact, get Fusion Summoning. So we already lost DPE, and we are losing the Favorite Contact, summoning a Vision Hero Trinity. And now all we have left is the Dark Law Floodgate plus an Ash Blossom. DPE will be summoned back during the next turn. You're still under the Dark Law Floodgate power, and you lost the battle phase from being able to swing over it. Is this going to be good enough? Grabbing a Rhymeheart, Dark Law randomly banishing that Rhymeheart you just added. Ain't no way. Right card searching for a rival, which reborns in the graveyard, which is not possible since the Dark Law is banishing that right card. Are we going to Ash? No, we're not Ashing. Let it go through. Play the new field spell here. Now we're Ashing. That is a negate. That Arrival is also dead. Super dead. And all we have left is the Dark Law banishing anything sent to the grave. So let's see what we can do from there. That's now gone. Goodbye to the Dark Law, but do we have additional plays? No, we do not, but we do have Maxi activatable against a newly drawn Ash Blossom. Yup, and Ziggy, now you can see from the replay, yes, Grand Magus, newly drawn Ash Blossom off of your latest special summon, was able to negate that Maxi. DPE is here, reducing the Little Knight. Now, Little Knight does not banish one of your monsters if the DPE pops the Little Knight if it's one of the cards you're attempting to banish. There is discard, so DPE is pinning her down. She's not a real disruption here. Increase tribute, come forth, and summon. This Fusion Destiny plus the DPE is what's pinning her down. Just like that. Doesn't matter. Nope, you're not going to banish the Vian. You are. You're allowing her to banish. Okay, because we didn't care. We could have pinned her down if we wanted to. We chose to not do so. Malicious Banish, summon from the deck. Further Shokaning into a Cross Crusader. Cross Crusader, Reborn Denier. Denier, put the Malicious back on top of the deck. Further linking this up into a Decimator. With the Decimator, we have over 10,000 damage, taking this into Game 2. Nicely done. Very good. Good job. Let's keep on going. The reframing turns on if we have a Synchro. Well, we may just pass with double... Nope, we ain't passing. We're playing into that Maxi. And, okay, Trisukta didn't reborn from the graveyard. So what do we have here? We have negate anything. Negate a monster. Negate a monster, and the Bestial Banish. We'll count that as a disruption. We have 4 disruptions to play through. The Droplet is a board breaker, but not a good one in this scenario because the Trisukta has no relevant effect to negate. All right. Stratos into negate. Droplet, dodge the negate. So while we're not using it to negate something relevant, we're instead dodging disruption. Nicely done. We still have the other imperm and reframing. So what do we use reframing on? Do we negate the Ferris? Negate that Ferris just like that. And I don't think it destroys it unless you have a Vsauce in your field or graveyard. So that's only then it would be able to negate and destroy, that is. In addition to the negate, we're going to max C, which we can't even chain the Bestial to that because the opponent has no monster in the field to turn our Bestial into a quick effect. So back to back, max freaking C. We're gonna finger the Reinhardt in the graveyard, dodge the finger with the reframing. Reframing is going to return the Reinhardt back from the deck, thus the Reinhardt on field is not negated as we search our deck. Are we putting up lethal under max C? Is that a good idea? No, we're not. Nope. We're going to keep this nice and simple. No crazy plays. We searched for an Imaginings that's not even activatable. All you have is Imperm and Magna Hut. Reinforce into Stratos. Well, Imperm on Stratos worked last time despite them having the droplet. They probably don't have another card. They didn't have Mass Change. We're also going to chain Magna Hut, banishing the Malicious from the graveyard before it activates. It banishes itself as a cost, so you can't wait for it to activate. You have to banish it early. That shuts us down completely. We got no play. To battle we go, wiping out the Reinhardt. We do have Ash Blossom as our only form of disruption as the Druiswarm to search for in the end phase. With just Druiswarm, we have lethal damage. The Ash means nothing. So we're going to activate Reinforcement, which would turn on the Imaginings, which again, we don't even need. And through just some basic beatdown, back-to-back having to play through Max C, Mannadium was still able to come out on top. Nicely done. 7,500 damage in the field with Stratos being able to block some of that. Game 3. Let's go. Let's go. We need to draw any of those Bestials, which would be quite disruptive to Hero's turn 1 play. That could be good. And are we going to repay back the favor? Back-to-back Maxi against us. Will we draw the Maxi ourselves against turn 1 Heroes? Find out. Find out. Let's speed this up. And we also have a Druiswarm. So do we Druiswarm chain to the Cross Crusader trying to reborn? Nope. We're just going to banish that Malicious right here, right now. We ain't waiting. All right, let's speed this up. Oh boy. Are you ready? Evenly plus Field Spell. Let's do it. Now, when the Field Spell adds, that's going to trigger Darklaw to randomly banish a card from the hand. End of the battle phase. DPE. We are chain popping. Favorite contact. You know what? Let's do it. I saw in the chat someone to get flaming. Someone in the chat wants it. You got it. Can Grand Magus play through an evenly match? Get popping on resolution, leaving everything up but the Dark Law. DPE activating to come back during the next turn. Playing a Field Spell, adding the Reinhardt. This is it. Dark Law with a 25% chance to hit that Reinhardt. Are we going to do it? There's no way we're going to do it. We didn't do it. Did not banish the Reinhardt. Reinhardt adding a Torrid. Now remember, everything is still getting banished. So we're making a little knight that doesn't even banish on summon. What the heck is even that? DPE is coming back during the next turn. Let's go. Dead hero lives. No good. Now, the little knight is needing us to activate something. DPE comes back without activating. So if you're thinking, why didn't we banish the Dark Law? You could not do so. We could not lethal. We're giving Mannadium another turn. We could not use evenly again. We can't use the dead Harpy Feather Duster. The Ash Blossom is also dead. Is this it for Ziggy ST? Yes, yes it is. Wiping out our DPE, taking out that Ash Blossom. To the next turn we go. And just like that, Heroes is advancing to the top 4. Yes, the real Jaden is here. I am loving it. Oh my. Oh my. I'm excited to compare Magus's deck list to last week. Are we changing up the deck? Are we improving it week by week? Or do we have the same secret sauce back to back, just doing well at the same list? Nightmare Throne, popping our Spirit of Yubel. We're going to now be summoning our Phantom of Yubel. D-Lotus protected from the Veiler, but not the Impermanence, as the Spirit of Yubel gets Impermanenced. Thus, no Nightmare Pain for you. And that screws up everything. That's the power of a well-timed hand trap. It could completely end the turn. That's your goal with the hand trap. Using it at the right moment to end their turn. It's not always going to happen, but sometimes it does. We're going to circular send for the deck a Sigma, hit them with the Max C, and we have no out to the Max C. So this is where your mind goes absolutely nuts. What do? There is a Phantom of Yubel to negate a monster effect. How much do we want to special summon under the Max C? Can we go for a game? We're going to negate the circular, but not destroy it. Not going to be able to search for an equation, which would help with lethal damage. And if we're trying to lethal against Yubel, there's always an opportunity that they could draw into a Spirit of Yubel that could be summoned in the battle phase. So even clearing out the entire field is not safe enough to go in for a game unless you could make Terahertz. Terahertz could turn off the Spirit of Yubel in hand. So I'm thinking we have to take out Yubel, take out Spirit of Yubel, the field spell is going to trigger. We got to somehow clear all the monsters and then get to battle with Terahertz. We're going to Parallel Exceed, chain to the Ash Blossom, negating the Firewall Defensor. I think we're taking the Maxi Challenge. What do y'all think? Yes, we are. This is it. Maxi Challenge initiated. Link Decoder. Oh boy, Splash Mage reborning the Parallel Exceed. There's now a Druid Swarm. Even more trouble in the mix with the ability to banish that Link Decoder plus being another body on the field. Holy moly. Can AWAB do it? Wipe out the Yubels and make the Terahertz to negate any potential Yubels in the hand. For the Shokanning into our Alimbert. Alimbert, search our deck for Come to Me, our addition to get boosted. Further Shokanning into the Singularity. Singularity is here. We're going to boost up the Singularity to 4,500 attack, now making a Linguribo. Sure. Singularity is going to be reborning from the graveyard our Transcode Talker. Further Shokanning into the Terahertz. To battle we go. Terahertz is going to send from the extra deck a Disable Worm to negate a spell or trap, which could negate the effect of the Throne. Once we spin their card back, it leaves the field. The Throne would trigger. Holy moly. Spin 2 Squirmer is going to be chaining to that to summon onto the field within the battle phase. That's right, it's not a main phase only, but the Terahertz negates because any monster effect activated in the battle phase that's not ours is negated. Return back, Throne, Disable Worm, negate. Holy moly. I mean, there's still a Druid Swarm on the field. What do we do about that? Wipe it out. Open field for just 5,500. You can't attack with your other monster even if you had game because that is the hidden effect of Circular. You could only declare an attack with one monster the turn it's activated. Oh my Jesus, we now have a 16-card hand drawing into our 17th card. The Singularity is activatable again, and so is the Terahertz. But that's just 2 Disruption. 2 Disruption versus 17 cards in the hand. Ain't no way. We now have a negate for one of the 2 Disruptions. D-Lotus jump off the field to summon for the deck a Spirit of Yubel. Singularity gets spinning, chaining the Grave Squirmer, and we're not going to negate with the Phantom of Yubel. Reborning the Transcode Talker, triggering the field spell to summon onto the field the Terra Incarnate alongside the Yubel summoned off with the Spirit of Yubel. We have the Nightmare Pain activating. We're going to be reborning Spirit of Yubel with the Spirit Gates. We have how many Yubels? 4 Yubels. Let's get to it. We are spinning. The Aggregator can negate the Nightmare Pain. The Phantom of Yubel can attempt to negate the Aggregator, but will be negated by the Terahertz. Oh my Jesus. We're swinging into 8,000. This Phantom of Yubel has to attempt to negate to jump off to call off the attack. That's the only way. We don't get a replay on this attack. The monsters on the opposing side of the field did not change. What? It spun back. You should not have activated this. You should not. It was optional. If this, you can optionally target a card. You are giving him the ability to call off the attack where otherwise we would have swung in for 8,000. Wait, you can't even activate. Why'd you not activate? You couldn't. What the heck happened? Did we already Phantom of Yubel? Am I missing something? What? What was it? It was damage stepped activated? That's what? It was damage stepped? Dark Beckoning Beast getting hit with that effect Veiler. We're going to Call by the Grave, Finger the Veiler, which then follow up Impermanence, negating the Dark Beckoning Beast, which the second Call by the Grave cannot be used on. Oh my Jesus. Hard Imperm onto that Dark Beckoning Beast, completely stopping the search of the Spirit Gates. Is that a GG? Is Called by an Imperm enough to stop a Circular? And an Equation. So Circular, send from the deck a Sigma. Sigma activate, Finger the Sigma so it doesn't reborn and trigger the Circular. Thank you, Space Side Cat, I appreciate that greatly. Negate, Finger the Fool. And the Equation's no good because we don't have a Mathmech to reborn. Normal summon Maxi into an Almirage. Is this a Little Knight play? It's a Splash Mage instead. Splash Mage attempt to reborn from the graveyard. We know that the Equation was added, right? This is public knowledge? No, it's not. We did not trigger Circular to add it. We don't know that that card's in the hand. That is definitely a secret. And what's really crazy about Cyberse is they only need 2 monsters to make a terahertz for 11,000 damage. Yeah, that 1 2-card combo, 2 monsters, it's not 2-card combo, you could get 2 monsters out with 1 card. 2 monsters, Splash Mage, Reborn, Link Decoder, make Transcode Talker, Reborn the Link Decoder, Reborn the Splash Mage. This is just from 2 bodies. Somehow 2 bodies is Link 5. How? 5 Link from 2 bodies into Neo Tempest Terahertz. To battle phase we go. Let's go. Send from the deck. Multiplication. Multiply the attack. 11,000 damage. Lethal. Oh my. Oh my. 2 bodies for game plus the battle phase of monster effects are negated. So if we had a Spirit of Yubel plus a Nightmare Pain, it wouldn't even be summonable. It would be negated. Hikari. Here's what I think happened to Rescue Ace. I'm seeing so many evenly matches in today's event, and Rescue Ace versus a deck like Yubel hard loses to evenly matched. That just pretty much wipes out all disruption they have if they don't end on an Apollo USA, which they normally don't do. Gamma, negate and destroy that Hikari, which makes me want to put Terahertz in my Rescue Ace deck. But I like my extra deck being so toolboxy. I love it having so many different options. Then the Terahertz is going to restrict the options of what I get to play. Got the Ignister, and then also the Terahertz is not good against Max C. Completely unaffected by everything Singularity until the end of this turn. We're going to draw a card with Heat Soul, which may turn into another Disruption. No. We have Ash, we have Negate, we have Spin Back, we have Spin Back, and that's 5 disruptions that we have, plus being unaffected by everything. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negate. Cross out Designate, which we don't have a negate for that. It goes through. We have our double spin and double monster negate. Should we have Dark Fluided the D-Lotus instead of ashing? Activate Spirit of Yubel. Dark Fluid. Negate. Dark Fluid going through. And we do have 1 more negate on that. We're going to Firewall Dragon. Spin the Spirit of Yubel on the field. Back to the hand so the Grave Scormer cannot destroy it on summon. Nicely done. So now we're down to Singularity and Dark Fluid. That's it. We're going to Singularity, spinning back the Nightmare Pain and the Grave Scormer back to the hand. And now we just have Dark Fluid, Monster Negate. Nightmare Pain. Now the Nightmare Pain, did we activate we already used the hard once per turn effect of trying to pop a monster, which is when you'd want to Singularity. If you activated Singularity on the activation of the card and not the effect, that is a really bad idea. So wait for the hard once per turn, then go in. So you have that 1 Dark Fluid. we're going to reflect a bunch of damage here, which, oh my gosh. A Chi-Chi. At the start of the damage step, destroy your Cyberse, and because it's the start of the damage step, they don't get to call back their attack and replay to attack into something else. Once you commit to the damage step, that's your one battle. Into a Typhon. Main phase 2 Typhon. We have 0 disruptions left. Spin back the, this is unaffected by everything until the end of this turn due to the Gachiri. I think we forgot about that. We definitely did. Now, it could be the fault of Konami that we forgot because Konami's inconsistent with the influence feature. The influence feature is you could click on a card and it should show you above it what it's being influenced by. Someone may be thinking in the chat, DK, that's only Xyz materials. That's not true. They do it with other cards too. It's just kind of inconsistent. Heat Soul, drawn into a max, but to be fair, you should remember. And I guess you could look in the duel log. You should have scrolled up 10 pages to see that was unaffected, or just remember. Access code talker is here. We're gonna get popping, wiping we can't boost. We didn't want to boost up because otherwise we're not activatable due to the Typhon. Sure, makes sense. So a non-boosted access code talker wiping up the field. Singularity only now activatable because the Typhon's no longer on the field. Let's hop into game 2. Let's get to it going second, but we only have one Ash. What is that going to be good for? If we wait too long, there's going to be a Phantom of Yubel to stop the Ash. Now, Spirit of Yubel is... What? Why'd you add? Add or set. Okay, you don't choose the set and then... Okay, so we can Ash it, correct? Very good. So we did Ash before the Phantom of Yubel was summoned. Sure. Little Knight is here. We are going to at least be ending with a Phantom of Yubel plus Ash and a Little Knight. We have triple disruption. Now, the Call by the Grave could finger the Phantom and then triple tactics talent take control of the Little Knight to link up with, or we can now use it because of the Ash. Because the Small World doesn't banish as a cost, we don't lose the card. Very well done. Let's get yoinking. We are yoinking the Little Knight since the Call by the Grave will finger the Phantom of Yubel. Thus, there is 0 disruption left. We got full combo. Nothing could stop us. Let's go in. Let's speed this up. Finger the Phantom of Yubel. If it's not a surrender, we're going to flame on. Are you surrendering? This is it. Finger the Phantom. And set up for that lethal damage. Let's see how quickly we can do so. Shokan into the Alimbert. Search our deck for the Circular. Circular will lock us into a single monster being able to attack. That's it. We don't have multiple attacks now. 8,000 across the board's no good. One monster has to be that lethal damage. Alimbert, Reborn the Addition, Trigger the Wicked. I think even Biggie is begging Lucas to just surrender. Please, man. This is going to take me at least 15 minutes to get to lethal. Splash Mage, Reborn, back for the Shokan into the Wind Pegasus. Buru, Reborn Pakari, which it's not negated. So Splash Mage Reborn, the monster's negated. If Reborn through Buru, it's not negated. We got a Chi-Chi for the Shokan into the Dark Templar. Link off into the Infant. We're going to trigger the Dark Templar, move over the Infant, also grabbing a field spell from the deck. Further Shokaning into Firewall. We still don't have lethal, so listen, this is not BM. This is just what Ignister do. They have to do it like this to inflict lethal damage. Reborn. Lucas probably just walked away from the computer or left his phone somewhere. Who knows what happened? Addition, boost, further Shokan into Dark Fluid. Ooh, there we go. Dark Fluid is going to be our lethal attacker. 8,000 for game within the battle phase. We are finally coming to an end. 1, 2, just battle phase, mate. Come on. Let's go. Boost. Or you. Wow, both of you. 8,000, 8,000. Let's go. Nicely done. Nicely done. Clock is going to be allowing a newly set trap, turn it set to be activatable, as we set from the deck our big welcome Labyrinth. Clock adding back because, or summon onto the field, even better. So we can return it back as we summon our lovely Labyrinth to randomly pop a card from the hand. The connector is a really good starter, so popping that would be quite ideal, I think so. 1 in 5 cards. Can we do it as we reborn the Tor? Wow. That was dirty. That was random. Completely randomly pop in the 1-card starter. Okay. Ash Blossom, a great top deck against the Big Welcome, but you can't do that. You can't negate Welcome or Big Welcome with Ash because there's a lovely protecting them. They are under her dress, I guess. Ricardetto into Anima. Huh? Call to the Grave. Are we just like flailing around activating our hand? You popped my connector. I got nothing. Oh, pop connector win. Neospatian, Aqua Dolphin. I've always said that you don't want your favorite deck to be too good because you then end up like Dragon Link, which is barely playable, super banned, and like think about that. Because they were so good, they're now so bad. If they would have stayed in the middle, they would still be there. They wouldn't have been hit by the ban list. Nothing bad would have happened. But no, you all begged me to please leak Chaos Ruler. I need it for my Dragon Link. Okay, you got it. Then you got knocked back down for getting your Chaos Ruler. Negate a spell and trap. Negate a spell and trap. Banish a monster. Wait, where's Angelica? Quick effect, pop a card in the field when equipped with a card, which the Roland will do onto one of the Charles, so that's 4 disruption. And then we have Promethean Princess in the graveyard, so that's 5 disruption. Where's Promethean? There you go. And then we have our Maxi. Not really a disruption, so 5. But double spell and trap card negate against a spell and trap card deck? That's going to be devastating for Labyrinth. Activate Welcome. Negate. Ban Angelica with Gearfried. What? He banished Angelica to summon Gearfried? Is that... I'm missing it. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, he banished the Angelica. You're saying Angelica, and I'm thinking Angelica's here. What are you talking about? Angelica is on the bed. She's chilling on the field. What do you mean she's not banished? The other Angelica. The ring. Angelica's ring. We are going to get non-target popping. So because we're about to get non-target popped, we're going to Big Welcome, and the second negate goes through. So double, so from 5 disruption, negate, and then we were about to pop the Torby. Let's hop into game 3, but this time, Labyrinth is going first. Would we be side decking into the virus cards here if we had side deck? Possibly. Butler allowing the Big Welcome to be activated the turn it is set. Ash negate. Oh my gosh, mate. That's devastating. Now, the Arius in the graveyard will be able to chain to the Ash, reborning from the graveyard. But what? But what are we doing off of this? This is, we can at least set up something. Why is there a Havnis in your hand? Huh? Havnis mill 3? What's Havnis milling? Fairy Tale, Snow, and Jet Synchron. We got juice in the graveyard already. Now, we got Big Welcome and regular Welcome, and then you top decked a Grass. Are you destined to win this duel or what? Oh my Jesus. We are going to mill almost 20 cards off the top of our deck. Let's see what we milled exactly. As you can see here, we have what's activatable in the graveyard. We got the Gear Blade. We got a Wanted Seeker. We got Destrudo reborn from the graveyard. Let's play this out. Original Sinful. Search our deck for a level 1 fire. Plus the Fairy Tale Snow's got lots of gas in the graveyard to banish 7 to summon and flip a card face down. When do we use our traps? When do we get Welcoming? Big Welcoming to Lovely will at least pop a card on the field. I think we got to go for a massive play. And by massive play, I think we have to get a Lady, then chain another card to have the Lady set a floodgate like Daruma, and then we need something like the Coup Clock to make that newly set Daruma activatable the turn it's set. Or I don't think we're playing Dimensional Barrier anymore, right? To turn them off from synchroing. Would that be a good idea? Send from the deck. When are we whipping these out? as soon as the Gearfried summoned, it's going to have the ability to negate a monster effect if it has an equipped card to send to the graveyard to negate. Destrudo summoning as a level 4. Okay, Angelica. We could Chain Link block the Angelica if she's targeted by a card effect so that she doesn't jump off the field into Roland. Activate to search our deck for an Al Mace, that is. Now making Emperor Charles as our win rate shoots up to 89%. Equip onto the Charles, making an Emperor Charles to now negate your big welcome. What did we wait for? Okay. We waited a little too long. Now, because we didn't Emperor Charles, this is the idea. The idea is if I establish a lovely on the field and then I could activate my big welcome, they can't chain Charles to my big welcome because the lovely says you can't do that. So what's going to happen is the Fairy Tale Snow will activate, will chain Big Welcome. They can't change the Big Welcome and will not be able to trigger the lovely because she's going to be face down. Oh boy. This is a situation. Arius chain to the Fairy Tale Snow to Reborn from the graveyard. Come forth and summon from the deck here. Lovely. Lovely. Allowing the Big Welcome to go through without being negated. Within that short window of the Fairy Tale Snow attempting to flip down the lovely. Activate, flip it, chain it. Oh, we're also triggering because we got equipped. We're going to non-target pop a card in the field. Holy moly. As I said, we can't negate this. Can't Ash, can't Emperor Charles, nothing. Summon Ariana, return back Arius. That's not a big play. What this is? I mean, Hega, it's not your fault. I don't know what to say. You got Ashed, and you got Hovnist, and then Grassed. So you were destined to lose this. Torby is going to trigger Reborn from the graveyard. Arius drawing into a Dogmatic Punishment, which maybe we could use in the next duel. We're going to come forth and summon Baron to floor. Omni Negate is here. The only correct thing to do here was to surrender. Nicely done. Thank you. We do have Max C, and they don't have a way to stop it. Well, now they do. You have to Max C if they activate a Pot of P, they activate to draw cards, they activate a Small World. This is not hindsight bias of, oh, you're only saying that now. It's consistently been something that happens in tournaments. We've seen it. People activate Small World, you chain Max C because there's a chance they could grab the Ash Blossom, which, oh boy, now we are regretting it big time. Now, you can make the argument of, oh, I'm afraid of Gamma, and sure, if you were playing around Gamma, I guess you're taking that risk. The added Ash from the Small World, which we otherwise did not have, negating that Max C. But we do have a Droplet. But is Droplet that good against a Terahertz? Terahertz you could negate from sending a second card from the extra deck to the grave. The Save Worm may be able to negate the Droplet if you don't send a monster to the graveyard, which you're likely going to be doing. Let's speed this up. Link Decoder. Just remember, if you can make Splash Mage, then you can make Terahertz. That's it. If you get 2 bodies in the field, you got your Terahertzing. Or Singularity instead. What the heck? Instead of Terahertz, Singularity's better? Is it? Singularity's going to spin how many cards back? 1. Spin 1? Okay, sure. And then, so we have spin 1. We have negate evenly match. Yeah, negate impermanence, negate evenly match. That's something. And then Superfactorial will be able to send a card on the field and hand to the graveyard and also have an Omni Negate plus spin back and imperm negates. So we have about 4 disruption. Hero lives. Summon from the deck Stratos. Come to us, Ferris. When are we firing off these 1 of 4 disruptions? Discard to summon Ferris. Imperm, negate, Droplet, dodge the Imperm. So from 4 disruption, we're now down to 3. No, we do not chain the Droplet to dodge the Impermanence. Interesting, we're gonna link this off into a Wonder Driver. Now, we're gonna use the Singularity to Reborn. Oh, you see all these pointy arrows? They're all over the place. This zone, that zone, and this zone, they're not safe to summon to. And if you're summoned into any of those zones and then you leave the field, you trigger their Singularity to reborn a monster from the grave. Miracle Fusion, banishing from the graveyard, come forth and summon Sunrise. So where the Wonder Driver is pointing to reset a fusion spell from our graveyard, Singularity is going to get max benefit. Well, the Droplet will actually negate it. Okay, let's go. We have send, negate, and send back. Drop the lit, sending 2 cards to the graveyard to negate all 3 disruptions, from 3 disruption to nada, 0. Nothing left. The power of Droplet. Wow. Is Droplet better than Evenly? Is Droplet at least better than Dark Will No More? Is Droplet only good if you have some sort of synergy with cards in the graveyard? Otherwise, you definitely should not be using Droplet. Let's go, let's go. Send from the deck, Malicious. One of the other immense benefits of Droplet is if you go first and you have Evenly, what do you do with it? You go first, you have Dark Will No More. What do you do with it? You go first, you have Droplet. You set it. Use it on the opponent's turn. It's good going first. It's good going second. The downside is, of course, you have to send cards to the grave to activate it. And just like that, Vision Hero Trinity, crush! Lethal damage. Game 1 going to Heroes. Let's hop into Game 2. We have Harpy Feather Duster, which will force out an early activation of Super Factorial, which will minus just 1 disruption if it actually forces it out. But if it doesn't force it out, they're going to disable him. So either way, Harpy Feather Duster is going to be a 1-for-1 board break. Not as good as something like Droplet, which could just negate all the bodies on the field. So let's speed this up. Diameter, Reborn, and Awab has to think, this dude's playing Droplet, which means I really need to hold my Super Factorial to play around Droplet. Use everything else that they would want to use Droplet on, and once I could force them to use Droplet on something like Singularity, right? We should have maybe tried to use Singularity before the Super Factorial, and then once they either do or don't have Droplet, we either had more value out of our field because everything didn't get Dropleted, or we just play around Droplet. So what do we have here? We have a spin back, we have negate a card in the field, we have Ash Blossom, we have send with Super Factorial, we have an Omni Negate with Super Factorial, we have a Deceive Worm, Spell and Trap card negate. That's 6 disruptions. That is quite a lot. Let's go. And we gotta do it on our max C. So Harpy will trade with the Deceive Worm, so we're now down to 5 disruption. No Droplet. And again, what I'm saying with the Droplet to play around it is just lean on your Singularity before using the Super Factorial so that you don't get both your cards negated. Palmarage, Shokan, absolute 0. This wipes the whole field if sent to the grave. Ash Blossom negating the Liquid Soldier from drawing 2, discarding 1. Okay. If Absolute 0 is spun back into the extra deck, it doesn't activate to wipe the field. But anywhere else, to the graveyard or banishment, let's go. Vian, send. We are now Super Factorialing early. Summon, summon, summon. Get ready to get send in. Laplation. On summon, send the Vian. Send the Miracle Fusion, send the Vian, okay. That's the send. We still have a negate. We still have a spin back. I guess we Laplation negate unless it gets Chain Link blocked. Do we have a Chain Link block for the Absolute 0? Activate, activate. We got Chain Link blocked, mate. You were holding your negate for a card that got Chain Link blocked instead of using the Singularity to spin it back where it would have not activated. Triggering to Reborn Allenbert. Terahertz, send a card to the graveyard from the deck or extra deck. Firewall Defensor. It's in the name. Defense. It's going to protect you. If a firewall monsters would be destroyed, you banish this instead. Firewall, firewall. Not a firewall. Our field's protected except the Laplation. Let's go. Let's go. Wipe it. Wait, Laplacian also has built-in protection also. Oh my gosh. If this card, if a Mathmech would be destroyed, only a Mathmech card it protects itself from. So the Mathmechs were protected through Laplacian, and the Defensor protected the Firewall cards, which could not have been protected by the Laplacian. Oh my, what the heck happened? The Absolute Zero was supposed to be absolute. Laplacian still has that negate because it protected itself from being destroyed. We're going to spin back the Wonder Driver before summoning to where it's pointing to so it does not trigger to reset a fusion spell from the grave. Oh boy. Very well done. That was nice. Terahertz instead of using it to negate with the aggregator. It could also send a Packbit. Packbit, you're probably not playing. Packbit, you do have to discard to use its effect to put a monster on the field into the back row. The top into game 3. What? I had the flames ready, mate. Now I have to deflame. Flame off! Wow. Droplet and Ash, that's it. Is this enough? We'll see. Circular, we ain't negating, we ain't ashing. Okay. Shokan to Allenbert, do we negate or we wait for the diameter normal summon? Just gonna wait for the diameter normal summon. We can't be too picky. The thing, you negate this, it's still the terahertz lethal. You have to remember, 2 bodies is 11,000 damage with terahertz. So we have to disrupt somewhere within this line. Reborn, making the link decoder. Sure. We could just save the Forbidden Droplet for the terahertz, right? Then we're good. Awab needs a way to deal with the droplet before committing to the terahertz. How exactly do you do that? We can't send a save worm because we want to send the multiplication to become 11,000. And we can only attack with 1 monster. You do have to remember that. We only have 1 attack. Droplet on resolution, negate the access code talker, as we would have wiped out the back row, then made a terahertz afterward. We're still doing that. Yeah, it's just like, I can't believe we have to go access code talker to wipe out 1 back row card. Bah, boost. Woo, 11,000 damage. Wow. A single back row access code talker to wipe it, or at least force its activation into the terahertz for game. Well, Grand Magus, you didn't lose to AWAB, you didn't lose to Cybers, you didn't lose to playing poorly, you lost to a big fat brick. Damn. Grand Magus, thank you very much. I hope to see you next week. Let's keep on going. Huh? What? Oh, hey, there you go. Circular 1-card combo, not making your deck consistent enough, apparently. But when a good deck passes because they bricked, bricking means they should have a ton of hand traps, right? And they do. So when a brick means I still have 4 disruptions and I could still top deck that 1 circular, it's not that bad. Or is it? Can Infernoble, a super gassed up deck, play through 4 disruption? Imperm on top of the Veiler. We still have another Imperm and Ash. Imperm is activatable more than once per turn, where the Ash isn't. So is the Veiler activatable more than once per turn? Ash negate the 1-for-1. Let's go, mate. And we're left with just Imperm. Now, Diablo Star being a spellcaster is not going to be used with the connector to make an Isolt. But we do have Little Knight, which will not banish on summon. We have Olivier equipping, and the monster equipped onto it can't be targeted by Imperm. Okay, can't Imperm it. Well, we drew another hand trap, still waiting for that circular. Is Small World plus Veiler a bridge to circular? Probably is. Signet Mining semi-limited also. So we could potential. Oh, it's Ignister. You're not Mathmech. I forgot. Yeah, this is what you want. Before anyone's thinking like, oh my gosh, you really should have impermed the Lil Knight? Yes, if it were legal to do. The Oliver was actually relevant. We're going to max C it up, and I actually didn't even have a play. So we max C'd for no reason. We are going to Durendal equip onto the Achichi to search our deck for the Ogier. Got Imperm and Veiler here. Ogier send from the deck nothing, because we are going to negate. send a Noble Arms or Fire Warrior from the deck to the grave. Both the Ignis and Circular are full combo. Yeah, well, I didn't know this was Ignister. But yeah, otherwise Mathmech was pretty much, well, I mean, Mathmech is Firewall Defensor, Signet Mining, Small World, Circular. They both probably equally have the same amount of 1 card and or 1.5 card combos. Would you agree on that? Imperm with that double negate. There's a risk with imperming the first effect, and the risk is if they summon a second copy of Isolt. If we look at the extra deck, they do play a second copy, but it requires a way to get another warrior on the field. Ogier, or Olivir, that is, equip. Ogier also equip. What does Ogier give the benefit of? Cannot be destroyed by card effects, can't be targeted by card effects, and perform a double attack, but not for lethal. Okay, 400 Blink and Red. Picari is full combo, but Droll and Lockbird. That's going to do something. The Mathmech equation could only reborn a Mathmech from the graveyard, so we search for a card that searches for a card, thus we can't activate that card, but we special summon Subtraction, link this up into a card that searches a card that can't search the card, Shokan into Splash Mage. So remember, Splash Mage equals Terahertz. Terahertz equals 11,000 damage if you play Multiplication. I don't think we play the multiplier in Ignister. Do we? I know Mathmech plays it, but do we play it? Let's see. Reborn Link Decoder, Reborn Splash Mage, Decode Heat Soul, can't draw a card, Equation Reborn from the graveyard, link it off into an access code talker, boost! That's 8,600, and we didn't activate a circular, thus we can attack more than once within this turn. We don't need a Terahertz, just like that. Lethal damage, game 1 going to Ignister, where, as you can see, when you put in enough hand traps and you brick, well, then you have a ton of hand traps to disrupt your opponent anyway. No Final Sigma, no Update Jammer, no, the transcode and Xcode Talk are OG enough. This is the Ash check, and this is the oh crap check of, oh no, they have an impermanence. So this is where we really hope that they imperm the first effect of Isold, and then we celebrate as we follow up with Renaud, and then we perform the real Isold combo. There's no way we're imperming the first effect. Let's get Lincoln into Isold on summon, activate, trigger the Joy Use also to special summon a fire from your hand. So, I mean, obviously, we're not going to be doing so if they're activating a card that literally gets that other warrior onto the field. It would not make sense otherwise. Now, imperm the Isold. This is the timing. Do not imperm the first effect if there is a chance to get another warrior on the field. Earblade, add back, and someone may be thinking, oh, but sending the equip cards is so good. I want to stop that. Imperm does not stop that no matter what. They're going to send it even if you imperm the first effect, even if they were to activate that negated Isold. What the trash is this? Promethean on field. We're locked in a fire. We don't even have, let's say, a Phoenix to link this off into. New link to fire. Uh-oh. This is not disruption. We do have a Droll and Lockbird, and we have nothing, just Droll. Only Droll against a Circular. Oh boy. Circular, send for the deck subtraction, special summon, we have nothing. I didn't search yet, and by the time I search, it's an equation which will reborn from the graveyard. We may as well try to Droll. And just like game number 1, what's going to be the coolest way to lethal damage? Let's reborn, link decoder, link this up into transcode talker, link decoder, reborn from the grave, transcode talker, come forth Splash Mage. We got Singularity. With the Singularity, we're going to reborn with the Circular. We're going to addition but boost up the Circular, Shokan into the Wicked, trigger the Singularity, reborn the transcode talker, further Shokan into an access code talker, 8,300 damage, lethal damage. Holy moly. Damn. 2-0 with Ignister. Ignister to the grand finale. Mathmech versus Ignister. This is not just Cybers versus Cybers. They are two different decks. Begin. Summoning the Firewall Guardian with the Linkuriboh, which is going to reborn itself from the graveyard. And why didn't we normal summon the Defensor? Well, the Guardian is a Garnet. It has to be in the deck for the Defensor to be the better play, and it is the better play. Defensor is 1 body plus 2 bodies. The Guardian is 1 body plus 1 body. So 2 versus 3 bodies, but it only works if the Guardian is in the deck. So we're going to special summon the Subtraction, Shokan into the Alumbert. Let's speed this up since there is no disruption. Let's see what we do. All right. So Super Factorial is going to be reborning 3 Mathmechs, which we don't have a Call by the Grave for. And if we did, the Deceive Worm that we could send to the extra deck to the grave would be able to negate it. It's going to send from the field and hand to the graveyard, and it's going to be able to negate a card. So let's just say it's a double disruption plus a negate. So I'll just say 3. And then we have the Masquerena, which could go into Little Knight, double banish. We have Terahertz, which could send Deceive Worm or Aggregator to negate a card in the field. We also have Impermanence. We also have Called by the Grave, which could likely be a form of disruption here. So I would say 8 disruptions. Does Big E have what it takes to break 8 with the 6-card hand? Probably not. Send Deceive Worm for that spell and trap card negate. Get Small World in. We're gonna build a bridge from our addition to an Achichi. Normal Achichi. Did not impermit. We're holding. We're gonna further link this up into Dark Infant. This is a scary negate because they may already have a field spell in the hand. Thus, we're not negating. Activate the Ignister Island. We're gonna send it to the graveyard. There's a problem with sending it to the graveyard instead of banishing it with something like a Little Knight, and that is, in the graveyard, you could banish an Ignister from your graveyard, set this card back in the field. So if we send the Dark Infant and send the field spell, you literally just banish the Dark Infant to replay it back in the field. We're gonna chain Maxi. Call by the Grave, finger that Maxi, so we're now down to 7 disruption. We held on to the Deceive Worm. Let's get to it. And we're gonna be sending the monster, the field spell, a random card from the hand, and we're gonna have our negate. So after this resolves, we're gonna be down to 5 disruptions left. With the big 5, what are we doing? Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye. We have Imperm, we have Deceive Worm, Little Knight, and negate. We're gonna use our negate, negating the effect of the Ignister Island of playing itself back onto the field. And that's a hard once return effect, by the way. Triple Tactics talent, attempting to take control. Negate. Imperm, Lil Knight. We still got that triple disruption, which we were not able to play through. Very well done. Let's now just straight to battle phase. Why not Terahertz negates any other monster effect that would happen within the battle phase? Taking this in a game 2. Small World it up. Chain Maxi. We learned earlier within the tournament that that Small World could be adding an Ash Blossom from the deck to the hand. Thus, just use the Maxi. So we're going to add our own Maxi. Sure. End our turn. You Maxi'd me. I Maxi you. But you have a cross-out designate for my Maxi. That's not fair. Is this grand finale already over because the Firewall Defensor is one of the best 1-card starters? Summon, link off, and just like that, we also have a negate for the Impermanence with Linkuriboh. Summoning the Firewall Guardian, so if we keep the Linkuriboh on field, we could just negate. As we have Alumbert, we can't impermit. Is this super GG or what? Searching our deck for a Mathmech Circular. Oh, Linkuriboh's gone. Uh-oh. We have Splash Mage reborn from the graveyard, the Firewall Guardian into the Link Decoder, trigger the Guardian to reborn from the grave, Shokan into the Transcode Talker. Transcode being summoned will trigger the Link Decoder, activate Imperm, not Imperming, we're holding. We're gonna further Shokan this up into a G-Golem, Imperm, because if it were to not be Impermanenced, the Transcode Talker would make the G-Golem and itself completely untargetable. Negate. But this is 11,000 damage, isn't it? Circular, send from the deck. Boost. 55. Wait, where's multiplication? Huh? That's not game. What? What? It's in hand. Oh my gosh, it's in the hand. What? You're a garnet. It has to be sent from the deck, not the hand. You could send a Cybers from your deck, not or hand. Oh my Jesus. We had 11,000 for game. Parallel Exceed is going to summon. If we send Aggregator, it will negate the Parallel Exceed because we're the non-turn player. So Chainlink 1, Parallel Exceed. Chainlink 2, Aggregator. Negate. We have Impermanence. And we have a Deceive Worm. Now, will Deceive Worm even be used? Reborn the Addition. Further Shokanning into a Transcode Talker. How did this happen? Transcode Reborn the Splash Mage. Normal Summon Picari. Adding the I Meet You. I Meet You. Searching our deck for Deceive Worm. Negate. As we held on to the Impermanence. Imperm is our final card left. Picari into Dark Infant. Do we negate the Dark Infant? We do not, as it grabs the Ignister Island. Further Shokanning into the G-Golem. G-Golem, reborn from the graveyard, Transcode Talker. You negated my G-Golem, I negate yours. Negate. Now, what can we cook up after this? We're going to Shokan this up into an Access Code Talker. Now, if we had a Defensor in the graveyard, we could get protected from being destroyed. Is there a Defensor in the grave? Yes, there is. It's only once when it would be destroyed do we banish it to protect instead. Boost, banish, pop it, protect it. Do it again. Banish it, pop it, it's gone, no longer protected. Banish, pop it, open field, but not lethal. What's going on in this duel? Multi-freaking-plication in the hand while Ash Blossom off the top of the deck. Sigma and Multiplication could do something. We gotta play. We're gonna make an Almirage. No, it can't do something, actually. Something it did not do. We only have 5 cards left in the extra deck. You can't Little Knight because the Sigma states that you're locked into Cybers monsters for the rest of the turn, thus Little Knight was not summonable. Battle Phase, taking out the Sigma as it was protected from being destroyed by the Access Code Talker, thus we did not have lethal damage. Troll, Ash, Link in the grave, pop the set monster. How did Biggie win that? Well, we drew our Garnet. Cybers has 2 Garnets. The Firewall Guardian's a Garnet. It's got to be in the deck. The Multiplication's a Garnet. It's got to be in the deck. Let's get to it. Circular Send from the deck. This is not Ash or Veilorable. On Sun, this is the first time we could Veiler Ash. We are actually using our Ash because we could follow up Veiler on the Allenbert. No search of a Superfactorial for you. And if we Veil the Allenbert, no Diameter search for you. There you go. Double negated. And think about this. 1 circular eats up 2 hand traps without using up your normal summon? Huh? And then you just normal summon another Cybers into Splash Mage making Terahertz? That may be one of the many reasons why people do not like circular. That's just wild. How do we still cook after eating up 2 hand traps with a single card that did not require our normal summon? It doesn't make sense. Transcode Talker, let's speed this up. Triggering Link Decoder. Transcode Reborn the Splash Mage, further Shokanning into the Singularity. Link this off into Linger Rebo, trigger Singularity, Reborn the Transcode Talker, Shokan into Terahertz. And the turn. Send the Deceive Worm, and what did we end with? We have the ability to negate a spell and trap, negate a monster or a spell and trap on the field. We have Spin Back, we have Ash Blossom, 4 cards, 4 disruptions that is, plus the Max C. And it was used in the draw phase, so the Triple Tactics talent is not activatable right now. A Chi-Chi on summon, searching for Picari. Singularity, spin it back, 3 disruption left. Triple tactics talent, look at the hand. Okay, I'm not negating that. That was not a mistake. That was another way of surrendering. I think so. Surrendering's not allowed in the grand finale, so that's fine. Biggie, I will accept that. Lethal damage after eating 2 hand traps and still having 3 disruptions without counting the Maxi or Ash Blossom. That's incredible. Super beefy big bodies on the field plus 3 disruption after eating up 2 disruption. That's great. That's great. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Mathmech, and the reason to not play Mathmech is if Bystials become popular. That's one of the greater counters. Bystial, banish Diameter, Dissaveworm can't protect it. Bystial banishing Sigma, that's quite annoying as a disruption. Good job, Mathmech. And if this does become popular, as I just said, put in your Bystials. Meta Weekly top deck list. We have Yubel Mate as the top deck. Of course it is. And let's quickly see what's good. We have Labyrinth. Haga with Labyrinth is here, looking nice and compact. We got the Backjack. That's always fun to be playing with. Nicely done. The TCG, unfortunately, they took the furniture cards out. While we have them semi-limited, they're not even playing them. They're playing the deck in a more stun-focused way. We now have Stun. Speaking of stun, Diabolo stunning Mad Lads, pissing people off. A lot of people angry about this deck, so only play this if you want to have no friends but really easy wins. Up next, we have Voiceless Voice. Sure it, 44 cards on the Nadir Servant engine, that is. Yep, anything too crazy. We got Ghost Ogre, looking nice. Yep, okay. What else do we have here? We have Snake Eye Fire King, Yami. 42 cards, anything out of the ordinary. We got Droll and Lockbird up in here. There's the extra deck using the rank 8 Xyz. Then we have Dragon Link. Dragon Link 60 card, Sun is Rising. Yes, it is. It is rising for the Sun is Rising. There is the extra deck in addition to the main. And let's see what else we got here. We have Infernoble Knight, FM Productions. 60 cards, super zoomed out here to see the full main deck. Okay, triple Droll. And then here is the extra deck down here. Kit Cal in your deck because you got Hovness. What the heck? What are you fusing the Hovness with? What the? Sharon and Hovness and Rhinoheart just randomly in the deck. And then we have Mannadium. 48 card Mannadium. There is the main. There is the extra. Looking good. And then what else we have here? We have Heroes. Grand Magus, 41 card Heroes. Yup. Looking good. Fusion Destiny is fully unlimited in the TCG. Sure. But they don't have Anaconda. Not that we summon that as much in Heroes. And then Ignister. Second place Biggie Cheese. 42 card deck. Nicely done. And then what else do we have here? Mathmech, 2 of them. So FUGB in the top 16. Good work. 40 cards clean. And then first place AWAB Izam with the 41. How many hand traps and board breakers do you have in here? We have 3, 6, 9, 12, 12, 12, 12, 15. What am I saying to you? I keep on saying, try to get 15 hand traps and or board breakers in your deck, and that's not even including the called buys and crossout. That's 18 non-tech plus small worlds for consistency, and we don't really count the consistency, but there you go. 18 non-engine, 15 being hand trap and or board breakers. It works. Fill your decks with it. Make room for it. You got to. And what else we have here? Yubel. Sir Costanza. Good job. Top 8. We got Harpy Feather Duster in the deck. And then we have Lucas Rios. Nibiru. Anything too crazy here. And then we have NF. What? Battle Fader? When an opponent declares an attack, special summon, end the battle phase? Why? This is searchable with the Nightmare Throne. Take a Battle Fader from your deck and add it to your hand. What? Okay. Sure. That is something. And looking like that. Okay. And then Leonard's. 42 cards. Got the Piri Reese map. Sure. And then Medici with Sprite. Yubel Sprite. Yubel Sprite. Good job, Medici. And I think those are all the decks. So very well done to everyone. Good job. And congratulations, AWAB Izam, with a ton of, 15 hand traps and board breakers, plus the 3 additional cross out and called buys. Beautifully done. And actually, I screwed up. It's 15 plus a kaiju. 16 board breakers and or hand traps. 16 plus the 3 called by and cross out. Nuts. Very well done. And by 3, I mean cross out being the 3 alongside the 2 called by. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you all very much. Let's go.